container security context is a fundamental aspect of Kubernetes security that allows you to define privilege and access control settings for individual containers. In this tutorial, we'll explore how to configure per container security settings to ensure your applications run with the least privilege necessary, reducing the attack surface and enhancing overall cluster security. A security context defines privilege and access control settings for a container. It includes configuration options such as user IDs, group IDs, Linux capabilities, and security policies. By setting a security context, you control how a container runs and what permissions it has within the Kubernetes environment. This is essential for implementing the principle of least privilege, where containers only receive the minimum permissions they need to function. There are 4 key security settings you should be familiar with. First, runAsUser specifies the user ID to run container processes, allowing you to avoid running as root. Second, runAsNonRoot ensures the container runs as a non-root user, preventing privilege escalation. Third, read-only root filesystem makes the container's filesystem read-only, protecting against unauthorized modifications. Finally, capabilities allow you to add or drop Linux kernel capabilities, giving fine-grained control over what privileged operations the container can perform. Here's a basic example of applying a security context to a container. Under the Containers section, we define a container named Secure App using the Engine X Alpine image. Within the security context field, we set runAsUser to 1000, which means the container process runs as user ID 1000 instead of root. We set runAsNonRoot to true, enforcing that the container cannot run as root. Finally, read-only root filesystem is set to true, making the container's root filesystem immutable and preventing any write operations. Let's dive deeper into user and group configuration. The runAsUser field specifies the user ID for process execution within the container. The runAsGroup field sets the primary group ID for all processes in the container. The fsGroup field is particularly important for volumes, as it defines the group ownership for mounted volumes. When fsGroup is set, Kubernetes automatically changes the ownership of volume files to match this group ID, ensuring the container can access the volume with appropriate permissions. Linux capabilities provide fine-grained privilege control by breaking down root privileges into smaller, distinct units. Instead of running a container as root with all privileges, you can add only the specific capabilities your application needs. In this example, we use the Capabilities field within Security Context. The Add section lists capabilities to grant, such as NetBind service, which allows binding to privileged ports below 1024. The Drop section lists capabilities to remove, and by dropping all capabilities first, we ensure the container starts with no privileges before selectively adding back only what's necessary. Let's review some common Linux capabilities you might encounter. NetBind service allows the container to bind to privileged ports below 1024, which is necessary for services like web servers. Chown enables changing file ownership within the container. DSC override allows bypassing file read, write, and execute permission checks, which is powerful but should be used cautiously. SYSTime grants permission to set the system clock, typically only needed for very specific, time-sensitive applications. Understanding these capabilities helps you make informed decisions about which privileges your containers truly need. Here's a complete example of a secure container configuration that follows security best practices. We set runAsUser to 1000 and runAsGroup to 3000, ensuring the container runs as a non-root user. runAsNonRoot is set to true for additional enforcement. Read-only root filesystem is enabled to prevent filesystem modifications. Allow privilege escalation is set to false, preventing the container from gaining more privileges than its parent process. In the Capabilities section, we drop all capabilities first, then selectively add back only NetBind service. This configuration represents a hardened container that follows the principle of least privilege, significantly reducing the attack surface while still allowing the application to function properly.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.